Okay, so let's see if we can apply this now, just on the basis of that understanding what sadhana is. We're going to refer to this chart, and we're going to see if you have a sense of what it is you're going to be doing. So if you wanted to clean up this error of thinking mind, which is vikshepa, the wavering mind, what could you do? What would you be able to do? Meditation could be one. Namasmarana. This we did in the first module.
The study of Sai literature.
Bhagavatam, yeah, can do that. The 9 modes of devotion. Right. So we go back to Samashawa's 1990, read the chapter on vagaries of the mind. Swami explains how you overcome this pull of vikshepa. Right. You have to adopt some of these or one of these techniques to change what is going on. Okay? All right. How would you then adopt a sadhana to clean up the vasanas?
Change our diet.
Changing your diet, that's the big one. What else? Namasmarana, yeah. One more.
Omkar.
Omkar will do that, right? Someone said ekagrapha. Likajapa, yeah, Likajapa will also work. Likajapa is like a form of Namasmarana. Okay, and then the ego, veil, selfless service, and practicing unconditional love. Okay, that's how you would tackle it. So you can see that the first order of business is you can't just take any bunch of sadhanas and just put it together and hope something is going to happen. Something will happen. But if you're deliberate about it, if you know that I'm systematically purifying my lower mind, and I'm systematically refining the higher mind, right? And what sadhana can you do to refine the higher mind? How do you make your buddhi function more effectively?
Right. Gayatri.
Gayatri mantra. Right? But you have to learn to do the Gayatri mantra in the correct way. Right? We'll go into detail. One whole module is on the Gayatri. If you don't do the Gayatri mantra in 12 seconds, you're doing something else. Right? There's only one melody for the Gayatri. Don't go and take all these aunties who sing these Gayatri on the CD. They're all wrong. Right? You can't have all of that noise. It's not doing. This is a vibratory science. You have to understand how it works, how it's going to clean you up. Right? So let's just take a look at this whole Antakarana in a slightly different way, because it'll give you a kind of an understanding of whether you're progressing or not. Right? As a result of how this Antakarana is distorted or cleaned up, you're going to experience life in different forms of vibration. Right? We're going to call them vibrations from now on. So there's a connection between energy and vibration, right, and frequency. So energy is basically what the concept is about. Vibration is how we measure that energy. And the terminology we use for depicting that frequency is, that vibration is called frequency. So the frequency is cycles per second or hertz. Right? If something is vibrating very fast, the number is higher. If it's vibrating very slow, the number will be lower. Right? So what's the highest vibration that you and I can experience? Highest vibration. Oh. Well, equal-mindedness is kind of a number in between. But I'm asking, like, what is the highest you could vibrate at? And give me an example of someone who's doing that. Well, the other one, last question is easy. Swami.
No.
Right, what's the highest vibration? No, love is not the highest vibration. Love is 540 cycles per second. It's something more beyond that. If we take Swami's vibration, what is it? In other words, what is the vibration of God? How fast? Infinity. It's so fast, it's everywhere at the same time all the time. Omnipresent, right? That's all. So you and I, as Atma, have that capacity. We can also raise the vibration. Anything below that means you're not in the experience of God. Anything is it's a lower vibration, right? But we're all living in that lower vibration. So let's take a look at some aspects. So we'll just call it level 1, which is very low, going up to the higher levels, right? So what you want to do is to maybe learn this at some stage and to be able to understand, oh boy, I'm back at that low level again. Let me change something. You do not want to sit with low vibrations and live that every day. Very uncomfortable, very painful, very miserable. Right, let's start with the lowest vibration, level 1. Now, I'm going to give you words, but each of them is a vibration. They're just slightly different from each other. So the first is insecurity, guilt, unworthiness, fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness. Insecurity, guilt, unworthiness, fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness. One more time. Insecurity, guilt, unworthiness, fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness. Right. If you're operating at that level, you are the furthest away from God. Right? So when you feel like fear, grief, worry, feeling unworthy, insecure, that's telling you that you believe in the ego. That's how the ego operates, based on fear, mainly fear. Anyone had that? All read there, right? You got the t-shirt, and you got the lines on your face to show you reason. Right? Okay, now we go to level 2. Slightly better, but still on the low level. Anger, revenge, hatred, jealousy, rage. Anger, revenge, hatred, jealousy, and rage. Anger, revenge, hatred, jealousy, rage. Anger, revenge, hatred, jealousy, and rage. Level 3, worry, blame, discouragement. Worry, blame, discouragement. Level 4, disappointment, doubt. Level 5, frustration, irritation, impatience, feeling overwhelmed. Frustration, irritation, impatience, feeling overwhelmed. Just repeat that. Frustration, irritation, impatience, feeling overwhelmed. Level 6, boredom and pessimism. Boredom and pessimism. Level 7, hopefulness, contentment. Now you're going to the higher frequencies. Hopefulness, contentment. Level 8, positive expectation, belief, optimism. Positive expectation, belief, optimism. Level 9, enthusiasm, eagerness, happiness. Enthusiasm, eagerness, happiness. Level 10, joy, appreciation, empowerment, freedom, love, and devotion. So joy, appreciation, empowerment, freedom, love, devotion. Okay, so those will be like the spectrum. It's almost like a scale. And what I want to do is to take 5 minutes and I want you to think about that scale. And on a piece of paper, just want you to write down, if you take your life generally, what percent of the time are you in the lower vibrations and which ones? And which ones are like the middle and which ones are the higher? Because we all have versions of almost all three. Right. What you want to do is to now identify, you're doing what's called an audit. Where are you vibrating mainly? And don't tell us, you're looking for your numbers. Right. You have to get a sense of where you are on that scale. Right. If you're on the lower end, a lot of hard work to do. If you're mainly on the upper end, good going, it will accelerate your spiritual progress. So that audit is very important because you have to be absolutely honest with yourself. You're not doing it for anyone else. Right? No one else needs to know your numbers. That number is between you and Swami. Right? So you have to acknowledge, yeah, I've got this, I've got that, I've got that. Therefore, I'm vibrating at this low level. Right? So people who vibrate at a low level, often you'll see those characteristics. They'll show in their behavior, in their actions, in their thoughts. Right? Also, if you look at the medication, you can see. So you have an idea, okay, this is like not good. All right, so now that you know where you are, the sadhana is going to become more obvious to you as to what you should be adopting as your corrective measure. Right? So the sadhana is like a correcting process. It's a spiritual technique.